Welcome to Martin Monday's Intentional Intimacy, where love, life, and legacy meet in the moments that matter most. Every week, I will share sacred reflections of my 30-year marriage before Martin's passing, as well as our life now without him. May these reflections help us live with more weight, warmth, and wisdom. Martin was a letter carrier by profession, but a life carrier by purpose. So let's take a moment and let intentional intimacy speak. Hi, this is Paula. Welcome to episode 35 of Martin Mondays. Wow. On the day that this airs, it will be the homegoing funeral service of Martin's brother, Quentin Hollis. And so I'm recording this to make sure that I don't miss on Martin Mondays. And I'm faceless because I just chose to be faceless, guys. I have a picture here of Martin. Martin was the youngest of 11 children, 8 boys and 3 girls. And I was looking at this picture of Martin and his 8 brothers. And I'm not minimizing the sisters right now, but I just want to emphasize fatherhood in some regard. And I realized something that I hadn't seen before, even though I've seen this picture many times. But I'm looking at Martin in the center, and he's the youngest. And I'm looking at the oldest, Henry, that's to Martin's immediate left. And then I'm looking at Quentin, who is the 6th child. So he's like the anchor middle of the children. And he's to Martin's immediate right. And just looking at the 3 of them standing next to each other, it just hit me in a different kind of way. I looked at the 8 brothers, and now some of them are gone, 3 of them. But what remains is still so strong. That brotherly bond. Let brotherly love continue. And the other night we were sitting at family dinner, and we were just all gathered at my sister-in-law's house, and I peeped over at the table, and the 5 remaining brothers were sitting there. And what I saw at that table was legacy. I saw strength, and I saw a brotherhood. And it reminded me of something that is very simple, but yet I think we sometimes overlook, is that love never ends. Legacy ultimately is the continuance of that love, because love lives forever. We may not live forever, but love lives forever. As I'm sitting here and I realize this is episode 35, if you know anything about me, you know that I love numbers, and numbers always speak to me in some way. And the 3 and the 5 speak to me in this moment, because that's what remains. 3 girls and 5 boys from the original 11. And that just means something to me, and it speaks to me, because we're instructed to strengthen that which remains. And as we looked at Quentin today for family, or yesterday, as this is airing on Sunday, for family inspection, I heard one of the brothers say, we're Hollis strong. And yes, we are Hollis strong. That is what love does. That is what legacy does. I'll reflect some more on the other side. So, my reflection here is going to be brief. I just simply want to encourage you um, in your life legacy and in your relationships with family, with friends, to realize that even though the life cycle may be broken, the love cycle is forever unbroken. And in fact, it must be deepened. And so, none of this is helpful if we don't do something about it. And so I'm strongly encouraging you to allow love to continue in your life and in your relationships, and for you to truly take the action to look within your circle of life and your circle of love and your sphere of influence and identify at least one person. More if you can and if you're willing, but at least one person that today you can continue the love legacy with. Identify that person, reach out to them, have a conversation, and tell them just how much you love and appreciate them. That honors the legacy of life, that honors the legacy of love, and it doesn't wait until the circle is broken. It deepens and continues the love circle even now. So thanks for walking with me in this Martin Mondays. Let brotherly love continue in your life, in your love, and in your relationships. Thanks so much. I'll catch you next week on Martin Mondays. Martin Mondays continues on Tuesday with the Tuesday Tea. Check it out and join me and take a sip. Martin used to say a lot of things. Some were funny, some were wise, but one thing he often said was, wow. Wow. Just those 3 letters. It spoke volumes. It meant a lot. When he didn't know what to say, wow. When he was excited about something, wow. When he was confused, perhaps, or even frustrated, he said, wow. And he's still saying wow. Through this bracelet, he's still saying wow, because he's still saying, may your whole life prove that God is good. And so in closing, that's my hope for you this week. May you have wow moments as you too are living out legacy. Live in the wow. Live in the reality of knowing that your whole life is good. Live in the heartbeat of Martin Mondays and intentional intimacy. May that anchor you in this week as you build legacy, one wow, one moment at a time. See you next week.